My paper looks at the problem of recidivist drink driving from the standpoint of view that all offenders, regardless of their criminal history, should have the right to be served by a DWI court. The paper also looks at offenders that make progress with the complying order of the court be allowed to or be awarded with a restricted license subject to a interlock device condition. Basically, the prevailing sort of evidence in regards to the questions that I'm looking at, and if you're looking at the TLRI and TILE study, 75% of offenders were identified as having mental issues. And my paper looks at the DWI court possibility from a therapeutic jurisprudence approach. It looks at tackling the core issue of why recidivism continues to happen. And it also makes the statement that the traditional retribution sort of justice systems failed offenders, and the penal system isn't the right, the right tactic to employ when dealing with recidivism, and that a therapeutic approach is needed to really solve the core issue of why repeat drink driving continues to happen. From the research that I've undertaken, I've found that offenders, regardless of their criminal history, that have had access to a DWI court and have been supervised whilst under programs administered by the court, the recidivism rate has actually lowered for those particular offenders. So on top of that, the paper looks at the incarceration cost, and basically Tasmania, from the research that I found, has the highest cost per prisoner per day in the nation at $321. I argue that although the interlock device costs between $3,000 to $3,500 to install, service and remove, it actually benefits the community in the long run, and the taxpayer by lowering the recidivism rate and lowering the incarceration cost for repeat drink drivers. So with that being said, my paper argues for the creation of a DWI court. It argues for this therapeutical-based approach. Although contrary arguments have shown that restricting and suspending licenses does deter offenders, other evidence has shown that repeat offenders still drive unlicensed. My paper argues that rewarding offenders for complying with orders in the form of a restricted license, coupled with allowing all offenders, regardless of their criminal history, to be served by a DWI court, will lead to the problem of recidivism being solved. Thank you.